No, we're gonna totally do it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna put chips in my hair again.
Okay, we're gonna do chips in the hair again.
All right, I'm Keenan Fry, and I'm at Santa Cruz Music Festival with Justin J's Voyage. This is Justin, this is Ben, and...
Henry.
Henry, thank
He
you.
doesn't speak much.
Henry. So Henry's doing a Silent Bob impersonation. All right, so what bullshit are we cooking up right now in the kitchen?
We are cooking. We have chips. We have some throat coat. And we have some chocolate covered almonds. So we are cooking some dinner.
For your health. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, the chips and beer lifestyle is a staple of the touring band, right? You guys have just come off a tour.
Yeah.
We just did an album release tour. It's
Yeah.
been a big deal for you guys. It's your first major release as a comprehensive group. Tell us about that tour. What was it like?
Man, it's so crazy. This has been my first experience doing shows without turntables, playing with a band alongside all these homies. It's been crazy, yeah. But I think one of the coolest things is, when we get the chance to play, for 8 hours, every homie in the band also DJs, makes their own music. Ben performs his own music live, him singing, playing guitar. And we get to do all of it, everyone doing their own thing, and then at the end of the night, everyone coming back together.
The Newsreel Guys music video?
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was kind of cool because we for the home album tour, each one of us got booked as the opener before the actual show, so we would have like 30 minutes to an hour set each of us, so we could kind of like express ourselves
But
and
there's
whatever we
like
wanted
5
to do.
of you.
Yeah, I know. It was the venues didn't always.
We have a lot of homies,
Yeah,
a lot of music, so much music.
But then we get to come together at the end of the night and perform the album that we all made together.
And then let me just do a little, do full, yeah.
He's got some dandruff. All right. All right. Now, Justin, you're famous for being a common participant of the Northern Nights Music Festival. You've been there like every year since the beginning, right?
Dude, Northern Nights is so magical.
So, when you started off playing at Northern Nights, was it just you? Did you have the group? Or
The first time, so I've played it twice, and the first time was right when me and our homie Josh had just graduated college. Ben was going into his senior year, and the three of us went in there. I
The river
DJ'd,
stage.
And Ben played guitar, Josh sang, and it was so magical at the river stage.
Yes.
Yeah. And then over the summer, that was the first show that we actually played as a full live band.
Yeah.
Josh was there as well, and it was insane. We played the main stage. Crazy.
Yeah. That was like the first big performance that we ever did together.
Was Odessa playing that year, or was that before?
Over the summer, I think Jai Wolf played.
Yeah, that was the last year before.
Yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah.
played with Jai Wolf and Big Wild, and then
Yes.
you played with Cherub and Living Legends.
That's
That was
right.
that
Yeah,
lineup.
exactly.
Great. And I saw your DJ set at the river stage. I was there
Yes.
for that. I shot some photos.
Sweet, awesome.
All right. So it sounds like you guys got some momentum behind your sails. You guys are catching the wind and you're moving forward on your journey. All right.
On the voyage.
All
The
right, that's
Fantastic
cool.
Voyage.
So, what is it like now transitioning into a collaborative project? What is it like now transitioning to a collaborative project with all these extra members? You got guitarists, you got all these other additional.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Well, I think so much of it happened organically. I think the starting point was my spring senior year. That's when my homie Josh, who I'd been friends with for a while, who was singing, writing songs on the ukulele, that's when you're like, yo, it's our last semester of school, let's try making some music together. Ben plays in Josh's band, playing guitar, and that's how this all started. Josh really opened me up to the world of singing and writing songs, and really pulled me outside of my bubble of just house and techno music, and everything has kind of grown organically from that. It was not long after that Henry started playing drums with us, and then it was about a year ago.
To this day.
that
Give or take.
I was finishing up with Ben all this new music that was my first exploration of singing and writing songs, and I brought two of my close homies from high school, Sam Von Horn, who was my DJ partner back in the day, and our good friend Danny G. And now it's like a band that's a combination of homies from my high school days and college. So it's pretty funny.
What school did you guys go to?
We three went to USC.
UCSC, so you're local, or USC?
USC,
Oh,
University of
Southern California. Excuse me. So, okay. All right. So you guys are California natives, or?
Yeah. I think the whole band is from Southern California.
That's sick. So you guys have all come together organically through this whole process. You guys all have your own creative influences, your own creative outlet.
Yeah.
You're all releasing your own EPs,
Yeah.
and then you're coming together to collaborate to create this. So when you guys look at the industry as a whole, there's always the idea that there's a model, someone who's kind of done something similar to what you're doing before you. You look around and you say, well, this person did this, I kind of want to go that route, I kind of want to follow that. So who do you look to for that model? What do you guys look for?
You know, I think, so Dirty Bird obviously is a huge inspiration for me. I mean, they really started my whole journey and are still a big part of my musical identity, still putting out music through Dirty Bird. And, you know, when I think about the Dirty Bird guys and how, you know...
And that's Dirty Bird Campout as well.
Same
right?
crew. The Dirty Bird Campout is the festival that the Dirty Bird crew throws. You know, when I think of the Dirty Bird crew, it's OG guys, Justin Martin, Christian Martin, Claude Von Stroke, Worthy, J Flip, you know. I think about us as the same kind of thing, except we also play as a band together, you know, where everyone, because Fantastic Voyage is both the band and the labels. It's just the crew. And, you know, I just wanted to be able to just to be able to go with the flow when someone had to express something themselves, for that to be possible, and then to facilitate collaboration when that's possible too, because even on people's individual releases, you know, Sam featured on one of Ben's original tracks on his upcoming EP. It's like Ben and I collaborate a ton. Henry and I have a bunch of music coming out together. Ben and I literally put out a new song yesterday together. Sam and Danny have been collaborating since they were in high school. So yeah, man, it's just like mix it up, try every combination, try everything. No rules, no limits.
Yeah, but to answer your question more, there hasn't been a lot of references, which has been kind of difficult for us because we're kind of just like, okay, we're gonna do electronic music, but also kind of, you know, live stuff, and we've just been kind of like trusting our instincts and like seeing what happens, and as long as all of us are happy with what is being made, then that's all that matters.
So it only goes 10 minutes and I have to reset it.
Cool.
Kind of an internal clock.
Do we have to re-say something?
We're good. We're going to keep going where we were.
Let's go keep going.
Okay, so you guys are trying to navigate, you're trying to bring a unified path together. That's really cool. Now, part of the journey, though, is also some of the failure and the disruption. What are some of the hurdles you guys have overcome? Failures, past problems, and any of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like, for me, this is my first time singing, playing in a band, and I love it. It's so fun. It's been a great learning experience. Kind of a trial by fire in some cases where, you know, I make my music, a lot of it just on the computer, and wanting to translate that into a band, you know, using things like Ableton Live, but then the computer dies, and things like singing, period. That shit's hard. But just, you know, really, I don't know, just enjoying it, you know, really getting to perform songs that came from a real place that we all worked hard to make, you know, I mean, I feel like that's been a huge motivating force.
And
yeah.
As I said, that we didn't have like so many references specifically on exactly how to set this thing up to perform it. We had so much kind of technological hurdles that we were just figuring out as we were going along. And a really awesome thing that we did at the start of it, when we were still really figuring out how to perform this, was that we threw a lot of our own little house parties, mainly around the USC area, and like had a lot of our friends who would support us no matter what. So we could just fail and fall on our face and it would hurt, but like it's not the end of the world, and like we still had our friends to kind of like pat us on the back and like say, hey, you tried, you know.
And nothing is harder than a janky house party when, you know, beer is spilled on an important piece of equipment and you lose half the speakers.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah, this shit's easy compared to that.
Oh man, it's the gauntlet.
Yeah.
But every step of the journey has been really fun. Yeah, I mean, I think another huge hurdle was just the confusion of what is this, you know, because it's you know, we didn't know what it was ourselves, and we didn't want to define it before we really figured out, you know, what was going on. I wanted things to really grow organically, and you know, for me to, you know, because it all started with me just DJing, and then slowly but surely bringing more and more homies in, and you know, I think I'm excited for this next chapter as my homies start putting out their own music and, you know, really start to, yeah, you know, so I want people to understand who Benny Bridge is, Henry Was, Sam Von Horn, Danny G, Josh Taylor. I want them to know who everyone is, because I feel like it'll just, yeah, it's like there's so much creative energy and talent in our crew, and I feel like just like Dirty Bird, where you might know what Dirty Bird is, you also know who everyone is within it. You know, I think, yeah.
So now I want to talk to you guys about something you mentioned in a previous interview, Joseph Campbell, and I've actually read Hero of 1,000 Faces. And
oh, yes, let's go.
His quote was, follow your bliss.
Right, follow your bliss.
Okay, so the heroic archetype. So you guys wrote an album about the heroic archetype. So I want to get you guys to talk a little bit about that, and then I got another question, and then we'll wrap this up.
Right.
But, like, let's get you guys, like, in rant mode. Tell us about this hero's journey.
No, so just to explain to those who don't know, hero's journey, Joseph Campbell, big legend, boss of comparative mythology, so you know, and his big thesis that he's most famous for is this idea that behind every great myth, whether it's an ancient, you know, Native American tale to a Buddhist tale to contemporary stories like Star Wars, there's an underlying framework behind every great story. And that basic boiled down framework is that there's a hero, and he or she begins at home, then leaves home, leaves the world that they know, is faced with trials and tribulations, overcomes obstacles, perhaps slays the dragon or whatever, and then returns home with new insights, perspectives. And yeah, you know, I think a big part of my journey was I was DJing and doing all these amazing shows and releasing a lot of music, and everything on paper seemed like it was perfect. And I, at the same time, was feeling all of these weird things that I didn't really know, and I was starting to like, yeah, just kind of get all of this anxiety and all this crazy stuff, and I really didn't understand what was happening. And just everything seemed perfect, but things felt crazy. And especially because, you know, it's like I was doing everything that I was so grateful to be doing. I was so, at the same time, happy and like grateful, but things were just crazy, and I had to, unfortunately, take about a year off where I pulled the plug on a bunch of shows, you know, was canceling shows, you know, disappointing fans, and, you know, going separate ways with, you know, different people who were trying to help my career. It just took a reset, and ended up moving back in with my parents, and that is where a lot of these songs were made, at my parents' house. And, you know, a large part of my journey was kind of like an inward one, you know, but just really trying to like figure shit out, and just trying to kind of, you know, I feel like in the craziness of doing music, there were a lot of things that I might have been neglecting, you know, in terms of my personal life and friends and family and health and stuff like that. And so, yeah, my hero's journey was definitely about, you know, just kind of like taking a pause and going inward, which is a journey in itself. And that, I feel like, was the big, just thematic concept behind the album, Home. It starts with Home Part 1, ends with Home Part 2. And the whole idea behind the hero's journey is that it's a cyclical thing. That's why the hero starts at home and then returns. then it's on to the next adventure, you know. That's my journey, yeah.
All right, now I have a different question for you. It's one of my favorite questions. I ask it in every interview. What gives you hope?
Just in general. The fact that I can come up to Santa Cruz and there'll be a collective bunch of people all coming to enjoy and watch people do some crazy shit on stage.
Yeah.
And have fun together. And it could be good, it could be bad, it could be something you like, it's something that you don't really fuck with, but we're all here for the same purpose, and that type of stuff is the most beautiful thing in the world, I think.
100%.
Silent Bob, you got any words?
All right.
All right, that was Justin Jay's Amazing Voyage, and we're at SCMF.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, can I get you guys to do one more thing?
Yeah.
Can you guys just say, you're watching the acid drip?
You're watching the acid trip. Let's try it again. You're watching acid trip? Acid trip. Yeah, because I would, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You're watching the acid trip. I said trip.
Joseph Campbell.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
I got it?
Got it.
Okay. Hey, this is Miha.
And this is Justin J. Finished it off.
Shout out to
Santa Cruz Music Festival.
and the journey,
The hero's journey.
the hero's journey.
All right, that's it.